Good morning. Good morning. Starting today, March 23rd, 2022. We're looking at the 1 year, 1 day chart. We could see that the SPY has basically tried to break above the 180-day trade, 1 year trade line. Sorry about that. Tried to break above the 1 year trade line. One thing is we want to see if it's going to hold this level. Powell does speak this morning at 8 a.m., so things may change up quite a bit depending on how the market perceives what he's saying. Looking at the 180-day, we have been overbought for quite some time over here, just traveling overbought on the RSI. So that's one thing to keep in mind as we go in further as the market continues to rally. Amazing day yesterday, not as strong as the previous days. If we drop down towards the 5 minute, you could see basically we pushed up and we kind of staggered off, went sideways, and we sold off in the after hours. We're basically opening a little bit lower than we were yesterday, around like 447. So we want to see what's going to happen as the market anticipates what Powell is going to say. Either or, whatever he says, we understand that the market is a little bit more on the overbought side. MACD on the 180-day is crossing down, so it is kind of signaling some type of pullback, right? We were above the trade line when the stock was moving up, right? And now it looks like it's trying to break it to the downside. So definitely want to watch to see what's going to happen. If we start to break lower to the downside, you want to watch for those 447 areas, down towards 445 to the downside. If we jump over towards the 20-day, you can see we made a high of 450. You could possibly look for a long position. You can see even the 20-day, the candles are below the trade line. That is another bearish signal. MACD is crossed down. RSI is crossed down as well. It looks like it has more room to the downside. Like we were always warning for the past few days, RSI has been overbought. We've been moving up, but we understood the downside was coming. So understand that, hey, if we do break the trade line on the 20-day, maybe this thing could possibly reverse and go back to the upside. So watch for the break above 448.90, and then we can start basically going towards those 450s, maybe even higher from there, depending on how the market takes what Powell is going to say. Next thing we're going to talk about, or next stock we're going to talk about Tesla. Looking at Tesla over here, massive run off of Tesla from the 15th of March all the way up towards basically from the low of 750 all the way to 997. So crazy run. Congratulations. I see some of you guys capturing it in the chat room. So definitely nice to see that. One thing is Tesla's a little bit more on the overbought side. It's been overbought. Things are just moving overbought. But this level right here, this 997 or 998 has been resistance in the past in January. So definitely want to be cautious. You can see the stock was basically consolidating, going flat before it basically pulled back over here. So definitely want to watch to see what's going to happen. If we break that 997, I think we could possibly go to maybe like 1,020. So keep that in mind. If we do start to pull back, RSI is a little bit more on the overbought side. Market's pulling back this morning. It's possible that Tesla will pull back as well. Just keep in mind, set your stop losses. The Gigafactory for Germany did open up yesterday, and that's basically what caused most of this hype. If we do start to pull back down, you can see we have been trading above that 20-day trade line as well, showing us that the stock is strong. The only thing we're going to look for is the opposite if you're looking for any type of weakness, right? So watch for the break below 978.80. Then we could start gapping down towards 958, which was a previous breakout zone over here. And then you can see if we're looking at the RSI is always a good judgment to let us know if that stock has more room. So right now, the RSI is sitting around 70 over here, which is meaning that the stock is a little bit more on the overbought side, meaning upside is less likely. It's possible you could go higher, but the possibility for upside is basically slowing down as opposed to buying when the RSI is around the 30, right? So do your own research, check some charts, compare and contrast what you see when the RSI is around 30, compare and contrast when you see when the RSI is around 70, and then you be your own judge. Let's jump over towards Apple. Looking at Apple came up on the trending this morning. Apple had an amazing move. A lot of the FANG stocks had an amazing move, right? So it's all up to you. You could trade one stock every day and be successful, or you could trade all of them. It's up to you what you want to do. So looking at Apple over here, you could basically get a long position from 170 to 172. RSI is overbought. That means be cautious with those long positions, right? We are pulling back, Apple's pulling back, SPY's pulling back this morning. You can see that we're holding above that 20-day trade line. Now we're starting to basically MACD's crossing down on the 28, RSI is pulling down. So definitely watch Apple for the break below like 167 down towards 166, maybe even 165, or watch for the break of 169, which we could see there's some type of consolidation. Whenever you see a stock push up, go sideways, one or two things are going to happen. It's either going to break out or it's going to basically come back down. So you can see that we're basically consolidated, pulling back. So watch for that 169 break before we can start going to 170 and higher. Now, I know you guys are thinking about this one. GameStop is back in the highlight. You can see GameStop went from 75 all the way up towards 148. So definitely want to keep this one in the watch, especially since this does not move like a normal stock. People are pumping it, meaning that they're pushing it to prices in which is not supposed to be. So definitely want to be cautious, especially if you don't feel like you're up for the challenge for something like this. These stocks do move quite erratic, but the same teachings that I have taught you do apply. Look for your crossovers, look at your RSI and your EMAs, and then you should be good from there, right? So definitely want to watch to see if we break. This is kind of like a penny stock play, right? The way I used to play penny stocks back in the day, by the break of the high, right? So as soon as the stock starts to break the high, that's showing you that, hey, the stock is basically showing strength. It's breaking that previous high in which it could not break before. So watch for those levels, that 148 level to be broken, and then you could start seeing if there's some type of strength. But looking at overall on this chart, this stock is basically extremely overbought over here. RSI is peaking around 85. You could also do support and resistance on the RSI. A lot of people don't really know that, but you could do support and resistance on the RSI. I've done it plenty of times in the past, especially if a stock is running and is getting very overbought. You can see basically that RSI has went to 92 before. So safe to say that it could possibly go back to 92. Not saying it will, but it is possible. So watch for the break above that 149 towards 161. But possibility for downside is a lot greater at this point. There's no real news in which the stock is running. I think they have basically Ryan Cohen, basically their CEO, bought more shares of the company, and that's basically causing the hype within the stock. So do your own due diligence. Watch for the break below 132 down towards the 180-day trade line at 121. And that's going to be it. Make sure you guys stay cautious. Make sure you guys pay attention to the charts. Make sure you guys pay attention to the upcoming news, especially in this news-driven market. Make sure you guys use a stop loss. Hopefully you guys all have a green day. Hopefully you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.